everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report. Coming up, United States Champion LA Knight faces a monstrous challenge when he looks to defend the championship against Braun Strowman. The Monster Among Man gets some gold, almost nearly 5 years. We'll talk about it coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Also, to speak of gold, Red Daddy will challenge the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team titles on their home turf. Can the Street Profits retain their tag team titles, or will Pretty Deadly leave some gold in hand? We'll talk about picking up more gold. The undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes kicks off SmackDown in London. What Cody Rhodes had to say about his upcoming title defense against John Cena. As we see, we're going to have more and more of this coming up. But at the end of the night, the segment, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, and CM Punk signed the contract for that blockbuster WrestleMania Triple Threat match. We'll talk about it coming up. We kick things off with the American Nightmare and WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kenny Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect and our digital platforms. Join in the conversation. That hashtag, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Never will miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. So let's get things started with this. The WWE Champion Cody Rhodes will have his date with Destiny coming up at WrestleMania in nearly 3 weeks when he defends the undisputed WWE Championship against John Cena. John Cena likely to turn heel. If this is going on, this match should have been likely on Raw. Because they having the feud on Raw, likely on those rather than on SmackDown. But Cena got other commitments and stuff. So you see John Cena with those commitments. Well, Cody Rhodes gets greeted by his fellow pro mentor, Randy Orton. Randy Orton greeting Cody Rhodes, telling Cody that, hey, once he gets done with Kevin Owens and once Cody gets done with Cena, they can fight it out for the championship. But you got to watch your back, Cody. You never know what Randy Orton's going to do. So, hey. Drew McIntyre came out there to interrupt and call out Randy Orton and our history. You can forget almost 5 years ago, man. Time to go by so fast. But Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre match was set. They were going to have a match a little bit later on tonight, and they did. So Randy Orton tried to set Drew McIntyre up for the RKO. Drew McIntyre set him up, and Drew McIntyre blocked it for preventing it to happen. The real question is, Cody Rhodes still getting this fanfare, knowing that John Cena is lurking around. We'll see Cody back on Raw this week in another face-to-face confrontation. If they're protecting Cody Rhodes, we're hearing reports that WWE is protecting Cody Rhodes from being versatile buried by John Cena. However that's going to be. We'll keep a close update about it a little bit later on in the show. Speaking of that, Naomi revealed why she's been acting the way she's been acting. Naomi saying she's with caution. She feels unrepresented, unappreciated, and feel unappreciative. She said that she knows Bianca Belair from the back of her hand, and she can spoil everything she want to know. Bianca. Well, Bianca's focusing on her upcoming championship match at WrestleMania between we know that Io Sky and Rhea Ripley will have an upcoming match this week on Raw, and they will determine the fate of that match. Naomi making sure that Bianca Belair feels that, as well as Jade Cargill. So Naomi is up to something. We just don't know what she's up to. Naomi loves to play deadly. Let me tell you that right now. Naomi getting herself together and getting herself ready. Well, speaking of that, Charlotte was in action. Charlotte went against Michigan. Charlotte getting herself ready for WrestleMania. She's set to challenge Tiffany Stratton, this woman right here, for the women's championship. Tiffany Stratton getting herself prepared for the other reasons for that. So we could see that being that way moving forward. So hey, we can see that. But Charlotte Flair gets the victory over Tiffany Stratton. So Charlotte Flair preparing herself for her upcoming championship match at Mania for the title. So, but maybe could we be seeing a future match down the road, a prequel between what's going on and stuff right here? As you see right here, Charlotte saw eye and eye to Jay Cargill. And wow, we saw that right here. These two women stared at each other. The woman looked at each other and with sight. It could be a possibility down the road. That could be a future WrestleMania match as well. But you never know. But, I'll be lucky. We'll be glad to see it if that do happens. But Charlotte Flair and Jade, come on, think about the dream match. We can see that. Roman Reigns arrives to the arena, waiting for his upcoming contract sign against CM Punk and Seth Rollins. We'll tell you a little bit later what was in the contract that CM Punk really wanted. CM Punk really got. So we'll talk about it coming up. That no surprise secret. So the United States Championship was online as Big Braun Strowman went against LA Knight. LA Knight tried to put up a fight against Braun Strowman throughout the whole entire match, but came out of nowhere and attacked both Braun Strowman and LA Knight was Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu feeling himself. Jacob Fatu decided to do the Samoan drop. Samoan drop and he left Braun Strowman and was LA Knight down. So Jacob Fatu could be next in line for a US championship match. How Jacob Fatu is. And the tension still rising among the sun between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sokoa. These two men that were on the same page, and now they're not on the same page. So I don't know what Jacob Fatu is going to do. They look like they want to turn Jacob Fatu babyface. Well, I think they pulling the trigger out right there way too quick, way too soon. Jacob Fatu, what's going on? Speaking of that, was Randy Orton taking on one against longtime adversary Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, no love lost here between these men. We know that both men clashed for the WWE Championship a couple of years ago. Randy Orton tried to hit the RKO earlier on Drew. Drew blocked it, but throughout the whole entire match, Drew McIntyre found his way by pinning Randy Orton and getting the win over the former WWE champion, Drew McIntyre himself, a former WWE champion. Well, we get to this right here. Um, Ray Phoenix is coming to SmackDown. Ray Phoenix, along with the Lucha Brothers, Penta on Raw, and now Ray Phoenix on SmackDown. Ray Phoenix is going to bring the heat next week on SmackDown. They're going to be bringing that excitement. Probably the Lucha Brothers ain't together, but hey, that's a good stamp of approval when you got both Lucha Brothers under one WWE roof. They both were working for the rival AEW. I wonder what happened with that. Jimmy Uso was in action. Big Jim. Jim Uso was against the Miz. Jimmy Uso pinned the Miz to get the 1, 2, 3. Big Jim getting the 1, 2, 3 over Miz right here. Pinning the Miz right here to get the 1, 2, 3. Still trying to find a spot for Big Jim. I think the Uso brothers are kind of like their momentum is stagnant a little bit. Even main event Jay, his momentum a little bit stagnant. But we know that main event Jay will be in attendance, but Big Jim will be in attendance this Monday on Raw, gaining him some momentum when he goes against world champion Gunter, perhaps for his brother a little bit later. Like, see that match coming up as well for Big Jim. Big Jim coming up and coming in, coming out. That's how Big Jim is. You'll see. Speaking of that, was the WWE Tag Team Championships as the Street Profit the champions defending the championships against Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly, yeah. Pretty Deadly tried to retain, but the Street Profits found their way and retained their tag team championships over Pretty Deadly to get the 1, 2, 3. Speaking of that, Chelsea Green, the women's U.S. champion, attacking Zelina Vega, making an example out of Zelina. As Zelina wants to be a champion, Zelina could be going for the women's U.S. championship and representing her country as women's U.S. champion, but she's got a lot of obstacles in her way. So we see how that's going to shape her. Well, we talked about this. We talked about this earlier. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth freaking Rollins were in the house. These men signed on the on the contract at the end, and we got it tonight, as we saw right here. CM Punk wanted something adding to the stipulation. I guess he wanted that favor. And many people were asking what was that favor in that contract. CM Punk didn't dispel what the favor was, but we kind of got an indication from CM Punk and Paul Heyman. CM Punk and Paul Heyman revealed that CM Punk will be indeed a WrestleMania main eventer. CM Punk will close WrestleMania, perhaps WrestleMania Saturday, for in that triple threat match between these three guys, Reigns, Rollins, and Punk. These three guys will close WrestleMania Saturday as WrestleMania, well, as headline WrestleMania. And CM Punk finally get what he wants. He becomes a WrestleMania main eventer. But there still should be some stakes on there. This should be a match full of like the winner will earn a future world championship match whenever he see fit, he chooses to within the next month or two. But that kind of left questions unanswered. So we'll see. But CM Punk finally will be becoming a WrestleMania main eventer, closing WrestleMania on Saturday as WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. So we'll see that. All right. That ends the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. Wrestling Hot Topics, we talk about this. A lot of news going on right here. Linda Hogan, the ex-wife of Hulk Hogan, went online and had a meltdown about her family is being um the collapse of her family. Hulk Hogan left her nearly almost 20 years ago. Brooke doesn't speak to her. Nick, we don't know what's going on, but your heart goes out to Linda. But at the end, people are grown; they're gonna do what they want to do. So Hulk Hogan, we know that he's a Donald Trump supporter, and he's been losing a lot of fans over that a little bit. But Hulk Hogan doesn't care. He's gonna do what he wants to do. Be the biggest heel than ever. But speaking of that, the John Cena kid that John Cena had pointed out, saying that he understands that John Cena is a heel and it's just his character, and good for the kid that the kid knows he's just that just role playing, cosplaying, whatever you want to call it. John Cena playing fiddle as always. So the kid understood, and hey, he knows. He said John Cena still his favorite, regardless of whatever goes down. So that's a big attitude right there to care for yourself. But speaking of that, you heard right here, the WWE Hall of Fame will induct a match. So it'll be a WWE Immortal moment We'll cover the match from 1997. You remember the what it was a street fight, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart in a submission match. Now, that match will be the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame as a immortal moment. So now they're going to be inducting matches. Hey, something new, so like what UFC does and stuff like that. You saw this right here. Ricochet finally gets married. These are pictures of Ricochet getting married to former WWE personality Samantha Irwin. Got pictures that Ricochet had WWE couple. Scarlett Bordeaux and Karen Cross was in attendance for Ricochet and Samantha's big day. So congratulations to the happy couple on their big nuptials. We said that on Wednesday on the AEW Ring Report. So congratulations indeed for them. So Ricochet and the rest of them. Ricochet like to say, ha ha. So we also failed to mention right here that throughout Drew McIntyre got put through a car windshield. Drew McIntyre by Damian Priest. It's like they're gonna have a match, a WrestleMania rematch after Damian's impromptu match from last year, cashing that briefcase onto Drew, who won the world championship moments after defeating Seth Rollins. Trying to get them something to do, keep him up. Well, we see this the son of Umaga, Zilla Fatu welcomes his first child. Zilla brings into the world. So congratulations to Zilla on his new addition to his own family. So congratulations. You see that Chavo Guerrero has returned to Impact Wrestling. Chavo coming back to return to Impact as well. And SmackDown has a new ring announcer. So the new ring announcer made his debut. Mark Hunt. He made his debut tonight as the new ring announcer for SmackDown. See, replacing Lillian Garcia. We told you Jay way better than him that they are not on top. So I think he knows, but again, he got the popularity of the fans, and hey, you got the fans population. You good even when you won the Royal Rumble. That was a big of a shocker, but maybe Jay Uso deserved that Royal Rumble win. I believe that, and hey, can't change what perception is and stuff most of the time. All right, we're gonna leave you here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We're gonna leave you with CM Punk finally getting what he wants. He will main event WrestleMania with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in the main event in WrestleMania Saturday. So, for me being Kendrick Dix, it's so long. Thanks for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you Monday for the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.